In July 1967, Nigeria descended into one of the bloodiest civil wars in African history. A war that would kill over 1 million people. A war born from coups, massacres, fear, and a declaration of independence. This is the story of the Biafra War. How the first bullets were fired in Garkum. How Biafran troops pushed deep into the Midwest. How Asaba fell, and how Britain backed the Nigerian federal side. The crisis began after the January 1966 coup, led by young officers including Chukwuma Kaduna and Ziogwu. Prime Minister Abubakar Tafawa Balewa was killed. Northern leaders were assassinated. Then came the counter-coup of July 1966. Northern officers retaliated. Yakubu Gowon emerged as head of state. But in the north, thousands of Igbo civilians were massacred. Trains arrived in the east filled with corpses. The eastern region's military governor, Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu, demanded restructuring and protection. Talks were held in Ghana, the Aburi Accord, but it collapsed. On May 30th, 1967, Ojukwu declared the independent Republic of Biafra. Nigeria called it rebellion. War became inevitable. The first official shots of the war were fired on July 6, 1967, in Garkum near Ogoja. Federal troops crossed into Biafran territory in what was called police action, but it quickly turned into full-scale war. In a shocking move, Biafran troops didn't just defend, they invaded. On August 9, 1967, Biafran forces under Colonel Victor Banjo crossed the Niger Bridge into the Midwest region. They captured Benin City within days. They advanced toward Ore, dangerously close to Lagos. Asaba also fell under Biafran control during the campaign. For a moment, it seemed the federal government could collapse. Biafran's strategy was bold: stretch Nigerian forces thin, create political instability, possibly march to Lagos, and initially, it worked. Biafran troops had advantages. Many officers were highly trained, strong motivation after massacres, better internal coordination early in the war, surprise offensive into the Midwest. Meanwhile, the Nigerian army was still reorganizing after 2 coups. But this advantage would not last. The federal side reorganized quickly. Commanders like Murtala Mohammed Theophilus Danjuma led aggressive counteroffensives. In September 1967, federal troops recaptured Benin City. Biafran forces retreated across the Niger. Then came the tragic Asaba massacre, where civilians were killed after federal forces retook the town. From that moment, momentum shifted permanently. Britain openly supported the Nigerian federal government. Why oil? British companies had major oil investments in the Niger Delta. The UK government supplied weapons, ammunition, diplomatic backing. The Soviet Union also supported Nigeria with military hardware. Biafra, on the other hand, relied on limited foreign support and improvised weapons. They created local refineries and manufactured homemade rockets, but they lacked heavy artillery and air superiority. By 1968, federal forces had surrounded Biafra. Ports were captured, food supply routes were blocked. Starvation became a weapon of war. Images of starving Biafran children shocked the world. But militarily, Biafra was shrinking. On January 12, 1970, Ojukwu fled to Ivory Coast. His deputy, Philip Effiong, surrendered to Gowon on January 15th. Gowon declared, "No victor, no vanquished." But Nigeria would never be the same again.